All right, let's get right into it. Is California's Governor Gavin Newsom already making a play for the White House in 2028? Today, we're going to break down all the calculated moves and the, let's say, not-so-subtle signals that suggest his campaign is pretty much already underway.
Okay, so let's start with the quote that just kind of blew the doors open. When CBS News flat out asked him if he was thinking about a 2028 run, he didn't dodge, he didn't weave. His answer was about as direct as you can get, and honestly, it's the key to understanding his whole national game plan.
So you got to understand, this wasn't just some off-the-cuff remark. It was a very carefully timed move. He made it crystal clear he's giving a run serious thought, but the when of it all is just as important as the what. This is really the first piece of a much bigger, much more deliberate puzzle. And check out the timeline he laid out himself. You see how his decision point is pegged right to the 2026 midterms? That is no accident, my friends. His term as governor wraps up in early 2027, which means the second those midterms are done, bam, he's basically a free agent with a perfectly clear runway to launch a presidential campaign.
But okay, a timeline is one thing. A real campaign needs a story, right? It needs a narrative. And Newsom, well, he seems to be building his entire national brand by focusing on just one thing, making himself the direct polar opposite of Donald Trump.
And this is where it gets really interesting. It's a strategy of mimicry and mockery. He counters the MAGA hats by launching his own Patriot Shop. He copies Trump's kind of chaotic, all-cap style on social media. He's even running these ads with a sold-out sticker slapped over a Bible, a direct jab at Trump selling his own. He's literally mirroring the style to attack the substance. And this super confrontational, almost Trump-like way of talking, it's not just for social media, by the way. It seeps into official communications. I mean, this statement from his office, calling a Trump appointee a clown, it just shows he is more than willing to get in the mud and use these sharp personal attacks, kind of fighting fire with fire.
But here's the thing. It's not all just talk. He's using his actual power as the governor of the biggest state in the country to fight these national battles. He's effectively turning California into a launchpad for his 2028 ambitions.
Proposition 50 is a perfect example of this. On the surface, it's a California thing about redrawing district lines. But listen to how Newsom frames it. He doesn't talk about it as a local issue. No, he pitches it as a national counterpunch to what Republicans are doing in states like Texas.
See what he's doing there? He's taking this state-level policy and just blowing it up onto the national stage. By saying it's about democracy and not the rule of Don, he's turning a debate about district maps into a fight over Donald Trump himself.
So the big question is this whole anti-Trump playbook actually working? Is it landing with voters? Well, the polling data tells one part of the story. But to really get his appeal, you have to look at the personal narrative he's weaving right alongside all the politics.
And if you look at the numbers, the answer seems to be, yeah, it has legs. A recent CBS poll shows a whopping 72% of Democrats want him to run in 2028. For someone who isn't even officially running yet, that is an incredibly strong start. It's a huge signal that his message is cutting through with the exact voters he'd need in a primary.
But here's the really savvy part. It's not just about being the tough political fighter. He strategically pairs that image with this story of personal vulnerability. He brings up his struggles with dyslexia and his low SAT scores all the time. He's building an underdog story. It's a way to make his own success seem, like he says, extraordinary, and to connect with people on a much more human level.
Okay, so he's got a story, he's got some good poll numbers, but that's not the whole picture. If Newsom does jump in, he'll be stepping into what could be one of the most crowded and competitive Democratic primary fields we've seen in a long time.
I mean, just look at this roster of potential rivals. You're talking about the current vice president, popular governors from states you absolutely have to win, like Michigan and Pennsylvania, plus other huge national figures with their own passionate supporters. Every single one of them brings a different vision to the table, and Newsom will have to prove that his anti-Trump brand is the one that Democrats really want.
So this is the big gamble, right? Gavin Newsom is meticulously, piece by piece, building himself into the anti-Trump. He's betting that to beat a powerful political brand, you have to become its equal and its opposite. The ultimate question for 2028 is going to be, do Democrats want a fighter who mirrors their opponent, or are they ready to turn the page and look for something completely new?